So you can't sleep, and you've seen those ads on TV and elsewhere for Relaxium Sleep featuring Mike Huckabee, Dan Marino, and others, and you wondered if this supplement might be right for you. So let's look at the ingredients in Relaxium Sleep, the clinical evidence, and other things that you need to be aware of if you're going to try Relaxium for yourself, and that includes the free trial offer too. So the first thing I would say is when I first looked at Relaxium a few years ago, bottles came with some impressive statistics on them, such as this supplement could help you get to sleep 140% faster and several other things like that. Today, however, the claims have been toned down a little bit, where they only mention the benefits of Relaxium without the percentages. Here are the ingredients in Relaxium Sleep, and as you can tell, there's a lot of ingredients in this supplement. And overall, the ingredients do make some sense for a sleep supplement, but the real question is, has Relaxium ever been tested in a clinical trial? And the answer is yes. A study to evaluate the effects of Relaxium in subjects with insomnia, which was published in 2021 in Volume 1, Issue 1 of the Journal of Insomnia and Sleep Disorders. 35 men and women are given either Relaxium or a placebo for 2 weeks. Now, it stated that Relaxium takers reported in diaries that they had improved daytime concentration and could fall asleep faster and had better sleep time, and they woke up more alert. And while that is good news, if we drill down a little further in this study, we find where they tell us that the only statistically significant difference between Relaxium and placebo takers was improved concentration. In other words, Relaxium didn't appear to be any better to placebo in any of the other things that they were testing in this study, such as sleeping better. Now, one of the problems with this study is that they were having people wear a Fitbit to bed to gauge how well they're sleeping. Some of that data was not available, and it's speculated that some of the individuals in the study may not have known how to use the Fitbit properly, or there maybe even the Fitbit was defective. They don't really go into too much detail on this, however. Now, having said that, the ingredients in Relaxium do have various degrees of evidence that maybe they might be effective for helping people sleep better at night. For example, this review of magnesium suggests that an association between magnesium and sleep exists, although when compared to placebo, magnesium is kind of a toss-up in terms of whether it really works or not. Tryptophan also has its share of research. I've seen it in other supplements like this as well, although I would say that tryptophan would not be my go-to ingredient for sleeping better at nighttime. Valerian root also has some research that it may help, although the human research on valerian root itself could be better if you ask me, and this may be why the makers of Relaxium are using a proprietary formula called Valarest, which combines valerian root with hops. There is some research where valerian root and hops were combined together, and this may be the reason why the makers of Relaxium Sleep have decided to include both valerian and hops in their supplement. Ashwagandha also has its share of sleep-related research, although from this review, it seems to work best in dosages of at least 600 milligrams, which is more than the 125 milligrams that you're getting in Relaxium Sleep. Now, ashwagandha does have some pretty intriguing research, so see my videos below on ashwagandha for more research on that herb. GABA, which stands for gamma-aminobutyric acid, is an inhibitory neurotransmitter, so in theory it makes sense that it might be included in a sleep supplement. However, I personally would like to see more research on GABA to get a better handle on how effective it is in humans. On the other hand, some research suggests that German chamomile, which is in Relaxium Sleep, may be beneficial to those who have anxiety issues. Likewise, passion flower has some research that it may help improve the total time that people are asleep, although it doesn't seem to help people sleep better or wake up more alert. And rounding out the ingredients in Relaxium Sleep is 5 milligrams of melatonin, which is the ingredient that I mostly see in sleep supplements. For example, in this study, melatonin appeared to help people sleep longer when they took just 3 milligrams each night for a month. There's also research that melatonin seems to improve the length of time that people sleep at night, as well as during the day as well, which is another reason why you shouldn't be operating heavy equipment or driving while you're taking Relaxium Sleep. Now, if you're going to try Relaxium Sleep, realize that it comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee, and that's a real full 30 days. The 30-day money-back guarantee begins when it arrives at your home. That's much better than other products I've reviewed where the money-back guarantee begins on the day you order the product. So you're getting a much longer overall return policy here. And if you want a refund on Relaxium Sleep, you can start that process by either emailing the company or calling their customer service on the phone. Now, I know what you're thinking. What about the free trial offer that you've probably seen in advertisements? So if you want to try a free trial of Relaxium Sleep, realize that it's going to cost you $7.95. That's to cover shipping and handling to your home. Now, if you do this, the company is going to send you 2 bottles of Relaxium Sleep, and they're also going to enter you into an auto shipment subscription program. Now, this is important. If you do not cancel within 14 days and send one of those bottles back to the company, they will charge you $59.95. And just so we're clear, if you do not cancel, every 2 months, the company will continue to send you 2 bottles of Relaxium Sleep and charge you $59.95 for each of the bottles they're sending you. And this is where the Better Business Bureau comes in. So Better Business Bureau ratings are always changing, but when I checked prior to making this video, the Better Business Bureau gave the Relaxium company a C rating with 1.9 out of 5 stars. And this rating appears to be mostly due to what the Better Business Bureau calls a pattern of complaints from customers who signed up for the free trial only to be charged more than they expected because they did not cancel within the 2-week trial period. And when I checked the Better Business Bureau website, I found several customer complaints which you can read more about on their website.